Good morning, everyone. I'm Officer Cruz, Wichita Police Department. We have several items that I'm going to be discussing today. First of all, we're going to start with the first case, which is case number 18C032362. This is in reference to an aggravated residential robbery. Early this morning at around 2 a.m., officers were dispatched to a robbery in progress at a residence that's located in the 1300 block of West Dora. A witness observed 4 unknown suspects entering the residence through the back door and window. As officers arrived, they surrounded the residence and made contact with the victim. A 40-year-old female stated that there were 4 armed intruders inside, demanding property, money, and drugs, and were armed with a weapon. During the incident, a 29-year-old male suspect ran from the residence but was apprehended by our K-9 unit. The other 3 suspects walked out of the residence and were taken into custody without incident. The suspects are a 13-year-old black male, an 18-year-old Hispanic male, and a 13-year-old white male. All 4 suspects have been booked for aggravated residential robbery and weapons violation. This is a great example of the community and police officers working together to have a successful outcome.
Was anyone living inside that home?
Yes, the 40-year-old female. She was inside the home when this occurred.
How did she make it outside?
When officers arrived, she was contacted in front of the residence.
So she was already outside of the house?
That's my understanding, yes.
I don't know if I misheard. There were 4 men, but 13, 18, 13.
And a 29-year-old.
And the witness who just called police, was this a neighbor or anything like that?
That's my understanding, that the witness was a neighbor.
So just so I understand, when officers got there, the 3 were still inside the home?
Correct.
Oh.
Actually, all 4.
All 4.
And when the officers surrounded the residence, the 29-year-old ran from the residence, was apprehended right away, and then the other 3 walked out of the residence.
Anything particularly alarming because of the young age of 13-year-olds? I mean,
You know, whenever we have this type of crime occurring with the age group that we're discussing, that is concerning. And I think in these types of situations, I think the officers did a good job in responding quickly, surrounding the house, and using their training to be able to apprehend the suspects. As far as the weapon, we know that it was a rifle that was used.
The only one I really learned.
I don't have that information. That's still part of the investigation we're trying to determine.
And the victim didn't know them. Any reason why they chose this house?
I don't have that information. Again, it occurred early this morning, so that's still part of what we're investigating to try to determine what all took place.
Did the victim know any of these 4 individuals?
And again, yeah, that's since it occurred early this morning, just a couple hours ago. That's part of what we're trying to investigate and what we're looking into at this point.
And they demanded drugs, you said?
Correct.
The victim wasn't injured, right?
No injuries were reported. I think the 29-year-old was transported for a dog bite. We have another case that I wanted to discuss. You know, the Wichita Police Department works around the clock, year-round, to protect the residents, build strong relationships, and proactively solve crime. Good police work and developing relationships are essential to keeping the community safe. As WPD pursues public safety goals, we regularly share stories of success from the beat. We want to show the community what good policing looks like and what it takes, so residents gain a greater awareness of the many ways that Wichita Police Department serves them and how they can help. In this particular case, the suspect was arrested and booked into jail for aggravated battery and aggravated weapons violation. This was not a random incident, and the victim and suspect are known to each other. On Wednesday, and I just want to refresh everyone in reference to what this case is about. On Wednesday, April 11th at approximately 6 a.m., officers responded to a shooting call at a residence in the 1500 block of East Arnold. Upon arrival, officers made contact with a 15-year-old male victim and his sister. They reported they were asleep inside of a residence and heard banging on the front door. The male advised he went to open the door, and an unknown suspect fired multiple shots into the door. The victim sustained one gunshot wound to the leg. The male was taken to an area hospital for treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. We did have, at the time, information that the suspect possibly left in a gray Chrysler 300 or Dodge Charger 4-door. Through an ensuing investigation and the cooperation of the victim, a suspect profile was developed. On Wednesday evening, a 25-year-old male suspect was arrested in reference to the case and booked into jail for aggravated battery. Investigators were able to connect the suspect with an aggravated battery incident that occurred in February of 2017 and is documented under case number 17C012799. Both cases will be presented to the District Attorney's Office. This is another example of the community and our officers working together.
The 2017 case, is this connected to this case on Arnold? Did it occur with the same people, location?
Same suspect. That's how it's connected. And this was it's a case that occurred back in February. I don't have all the details. I can gather those details to refresh your mind about what occurred during that incident.
What were the age of the siblings again?
It was a 15-year-old male victim and his sister. I can get the age for the female.
And how are they known, the 15-year-old male and this 25-year-old male?
I don't have that information currently. I can gather that for you.
And do we know the cause of this, why he came over to shoot? Was there an argument that had occurred? Do we know?
I don't have that information. I can gather that for you. All right, lastly, I just want to remind everyone that the date for the Support Law Enforcement Parade is going to be May 12th. It's all going to kick off at 10:30 in the morning here in downtown Wichita. So we invite everyone to come out, have fun. There's going to be activities. There's going to be games. It's going to be a great family time, and we're also that's going to start, the block party is going to kick off at 11:30, and it's going to go all the way to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we hope everyone can make it. Thank you.